Yeah. What's really happening? For those of y'all that just tuning into my YouTube channel, I am your boy, OG Juvenile, a real OG out of Miami. And the purpose of this whole platform, you know what I'm saying, is to bring some street code of conduct back to the streets. Yeah, and I'm gonna be dealing with my streets, Miami. If you watched my last episode on YouTube, you seen I dealt with the Miami boys, right? And why the Miami boys was hustling in your city. You know what I'm saying? And what certain type of conducts in Miami, street code of conducts in Miami, right? So what we're going to do today, we're going to continue that discussion, piggyback off that a little bit, right? I'm going to not make these videos as long as I did that one, so the people can know me, not get burnt out and they can tune in. So let's jump right into it, right? Today, I want to address my little homeboys down in Miami, right? I see now in Miami, we having Bloods, Crips, maybe some Vice Lords and some GDs. This is something new to me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know by now, I did 11 years in the state of Florida. I did 16 years in the feds. I'm just now coming home. I got a platform. I authored 2 books while I was in. My first book is Pressure, based upon my life story in Miami. This is my paperwork to the streets. You know what I'm saying? You could get this on Amazon. It's a true story. And make sure you get on board right now, because a lot of things going to be happening about this book right here. My second book is Federal Pressure. Still, see the subtitle, still on paperwork. What that mean is, you know what I mean, that I'm still on paperwork. If you're a hot dude, if you're a rat, hey, ain't nothing shaking over here with me, you know what I mean? That's a principle that I stand on. That's a code that I live by. But not to get so off the subject, the subject of the matter of the day is gangs in the streets of Atlanta. I mean, it's gangs in the streets of Miami. Forgive me by saying Atlanta. That's where I'm posted out of right now. But gangs in the streets of Miami, right? I found it very strange when I was in the joint, I was hearing about Bloods and Crips in Miami. I was. When I was calling to the streets, I didn't understand how that culture came down to Miami. So let's go back to Miami, get a little history. I'm going to give you, it was gangs in Miami, and I'm going to name a few gangs that was in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 22 boys. Shout out to them boys, Smokey, Woodrow, you know what I'm saying? Lab. I'm talking about Big Lab, you know what I'm saying? Huck. Shout out to them boys, man, you know what I mean? I might not named all of them, but I definitely growed up around there. Shout out to 22 Ave, 81st, Little River area, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them boys right there, right? So back in the 80s, man, if you recall, if you're old enough, I'm 49 years old. I've been in this thing, man. I'm talking about a long time now. That's like a real blessing to be an OG, you know what I mean? Touching 50 if God let me see next year, right? So listen. That was one gang. Then you had a gang down south called the Untouchables. Shout out to Unk. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know who Unk is, you got really from the streets of Miami. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the big homie Unk. You know what I'm saying? Always been in the game. Always laid his thing down, man. You know what I'm saying? There was the Untouchables. Those 2 black gangs that I heard of. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, that's been in Miami from ages. Now, speaking on some other gangs that I know from me being in Juvenile most of my life, always in and out of Juvenile. Shout out 32nd Street and 27th Avenue to Juvenile. I met some other Latin gangs. We had the IMPs, we had the Wallows, and then the Latin Kings was down there. Them the only gang cultures that I knew about, you know what I'm saying? And I know what I'm saying, you can check your paperwork. If you really don't know who I am, you from Miami, actually big homie, man. I'm guarantee, you know what I'm saying, from down south to Kansas City, your big homie, your old school homie, your homie at my age, no Lil Jig. That's what they called me back in the day, Jig, you know what I'm saying, Lil Jig. So just check my track record, man. But not to try to turn on that, I want to talk about this gang culture. So I was in the joint, I was meeting young brothers from Miami, you know what I'm saying, the feds, and they was coming up to me, they were saying they were Bloods, or they was Crips. You know, I was calling the streets, I was talking to my little brother, he was telling me the Bloods in Kansas City, the Bloods in the Pork and Beans, you know what I'm saying, it was just, and this is my question to the young cats in Miami, right? Who put y'all down? Name me, cause see, one thing, when I went to the feds, I knew about Bloods and Crips from watching TV. From back in the day, watching Colors. That's the only thing I knew about some Bloods and Crips. Because we didn't get down like that in Miami, right? So when I went to the feds, I found out about other gangs, GD, Vice Lords. You know what I'm saying? I found out about other gangs that way. And then I sat down with some real chiefs. Shout out to Chief Ray. Shout out to Chief Ty. Shout out to Chief Poe. You know what I'm saying? I sat down with some real chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my Muslim brother, Big Dirt Home. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dirt them. Well, they call Chicago the land. The land. In gangs in Chicago, I learned was different from gangs in California. And in Texas. Understand what I'm saying? I learned that those gangs was different. I learned that the gang culture that was in Chicago was organizations. They were paying dues down there, man. They were paying dues. I'm talking about they had to be a GD, be a BD, you know what I'm saying? Be a Vice Lord. You paid dues. In them gangs, if you go back and study all the way to Jeff Ford, all the way back to Larry Hoover, you know what I'm saying? All the way back to them boys that, man, you go to study them boys, them gangs were founded to protect them community. Them gangs was actually founded to keep the community safe from crooked cops that were working the beat or other outside forces that may want to come in the neighborhood and sell their product or put a pimp gang down, whatever they trying to do, you know what I'm saying, illegally in the streets. That's a Chicago code. So now let's talk about the gangs in South Central in LA. These gangs founded by Tukey and whoever, you know what I'm saying, the big blood is up that way. So I still don't know all of it, but I know enough to respect it. But I also know enough that it ain't Miami culture, man. I don't know if they done told y'all. Nah, I can't change y'all what y'all young niggas wanna, know what I'm saying, do. I can't change y'all. If y'all wanna rap. But let me ask y'all something, man. Let me talk to the young guys in Miami. Let me ask y'all something. If you ain't got no history on what you claim, if ain't nobody put you down, then how you a Crip? How you a Blood? I seen some material in Don Diva, you know what I'm saying, when I was in the feds, they were talking about the brother that brought the Blood gang to New York. King Blood, whoever his name may be, I forgot his name. Somebody correct me in the comments and come back, give me that brother name. But they said this brother had to get sanctioned out of California. Then he must lay the Blood gang when you got blood, sex, and murder down in New York. The brother that brought that blood, sex, and murder gang down in New York, East Coast, they had to get sanctioned. So my question, I might not know what I'm talking about, because like I say, this is something new to Miami, right? But you can check my track record, you can check who I am, man. Let's ask around. You can ask your celebrities, you can ask Trick, you can ask Ball Grease, you can ask all the dudes now, you can ask Frank Castle, I'm naming some celebrity. Maybe you just a celebrity following cat. Who Lil Jig is. Trina, all of them. I'm real 15 Ave stepper, man. Real belly, man, all 6'1", man, all 6'0". Shout out to Anthony Fields, man. Shout out to Lil Bo, man. Boy Valley, man. Shout out to Fred, man. Shout out to Burt, man. We Vellies, man, on 6, on 14. Shout out to Shard. Shout out to rest in peace, Kim Wan. Rest in peace, my little Joel Valley, man. Stackhouse. Shout out to them boys, man. Shout out to Red Dog. Shout out to Boosie Valley. So if you from Miami, you know what I'm talking about when I say that Valley gang. Shout out to the JD. Shout out to John Doe boys. But let's get back. Where y'all get y'all history from in Miami? Who put y'all down? Point to me so I can sit down and talk to him and try to find out, hey, bro, what was your purpose of bringing the Bloods and the Crips to Miami? Because if you did, then, you know, it's caused some division. And now you need, you know what I'm saying, if you really for the culture, you really for the people, let's curb some of this senseless violence. Because that's what my podcast is about, curbing senseless violence. What I said in my other when I viewed on another day when my other post, what I said, it done stepped into genocide. Ain't no code of conduct in the streets. This is why you see me, man. I've been out here now 2 years pushing my agenda. They done banned me on TikTok for a whole year, my lives. They took my first Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? It was Villain Love 305. Y'all might remember me from doing an interview on that boy Finesse page, Rich and Unemployed. I had the Gucci bucket hat on then. You might have known. I know you've seen a few footage of me because it went viral. They don't want me talking about stop snitching. And the reason I raised my hand because it's on me in blood, man. Stop snitching. They don't want me talking about bring back the real street code of conduct. They don't want me talking about the real G code. But I'm gonna keep on talking. Because I know it takes a lion to talk to other young lions, man. All I'm talking to you young boys about is, especially in my city, Miami, I ain't no specialty. I ain't no specialty in no other city. I'm a specialty in Miami street code of conduct. Miami street code. I'm a specialty in that. Why? My daddy was a G, man. Shout out to Pig, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family, the Parkers, man. I come from a long line of G's, man. Understand what I'm saying? I'm certified and I'm stamped to be able to do what I'm doing. That's why you see